to the downside, which you have support at 412. And if that breaks, it's going to continue lower. And you can see it kind of bounced off of that area already. Any push back towards, I would say, $5 to $5.30, that would be a gift to get into it short. So watch for topping of that area. And then it should pull back into the 410 mark. That 410 breaks, it's got a lot more room to the downside. So that should be an all-day fader. Look for any pop to take it short. Those are going to be those are definitely the easiest plays in this market. We had a nice one on FDC yesterday, all-day fader on that bad guide. This can be similar. It's just a cheaper stock. CGNX, this one also had bad guidance. I don't think it's down enough, which is great. It's been beaten down, there's no question, into earnings, but this thing is breaking some serious support levels. And after that lower of guidance, I think this will be in pretty much cakewalk, low-hanging fruit today, this one. So the support level that it's below right now is this 38.76 range, which is great, as I think that is going to be, and let's just click on other support, 37.82, 34, and down there. Just go back 10 years. Yep. Okay. So we have the support right here at 34.39, 34.40. Any push on that, any push on this CGNX this morning into, let's just see here. Let's see where that 50 EMA is. 37.24. Let's just put it up. This 37.24 area, 37.28, whatever. Look to grab it on topping between these two areas. If it pops, this should be an all-day fader. If it breaks this mark on open, 34.41, it's going to sell off to 33 pretty quick. It would be an absolute gift to get it on a pop for continuation lower. Again, guidance was bad on the stock. Wait for the topping to occur. Best way to play it. That should be an all-day fader as well. So that's the 6 little pre-market tickers that I'm watching this morning. I'm going to chart them out. And, well, South Beach is on Mike. I'll chart them out when he's giving you his macro perspective and the analyst calls he's watching this morning. But before that happens, PSK Acom. I don't know how this one slipped through the radar for me. Oh my God, that's a nice chart. I'm gonna add that one. Thank you, PSK. Maybe I'll get rid of that ELVT, but I'll keep it up. Might as well. One sec. 1.1 billion share buyback, very bullish. Year over year is nice. Revenue is nice. I like it. Okay, so let's put up, I like the Econ and I like the chart. It's a very simple chart. So you got resistance at 68.17, that breaks. You got room towards the 69.56 spot. That's where you see a little bit of top and probably a little bit of a pullback. I can tell by the pre-market chart on the stock, it's probably going to be an all-day move to the upside. Very bullish. This is not something you're going to want to short. This is something that you're going to grab on a pullback. Grab on a pullback. Is GE on the list? No, Raj. There's not really any range on it. I mean, 30, 40 cents. I don't give a shit about that. Can't really trade it, right? So I think this is calm. You break that 69.50 to the upside, you'll get continuation probably into the 70s. This is one to grab on any pullback. Lovely chart. And the fact that it's pushed up like it is pre-market, I think you're going to get all day continuation. So any pullback towards the 67 to 66 mark, grab it long. I'm going to put this one up and get rid of the EVLT. Like that a lot. I'm still very bullish on the cloud-based stuff. So that's that for now. Let's take a look at the SPY. Let's go through the actual FANG itself, and see what we got going on. Obviously, you can see the bottom channel retest yesterday. Let's get rid of this. Let's talk about what we see here. Let me just flip to the hourly. Let me make sure all my lines are correct. Get rid of that. That can go. And then that one's gone. There we go. $64, $65.25, $66.73. Yeah, these are all correct. Okay, and let's do this. Let's make it look a little prettier. So this is the hourly channel that the SPY has been trading within for a week, 2 weeks now. And we've been literally riding this channel up and down for the last, 2 weeks, week and a half, whatever. And every single time we hit the bottom, we bounce off, we retest the top. I would not be surprised to see us this morning if we can break this. And this will be the pivot point this morning right here. The 65.25 mark, and let's make this blue as we typically do for the let's make that blue. That's going to be our pivot point this morning. If we get above this area, we're going to push on the market. 65.25 breaks. We're going up to $67, $66.70 to $67. We're going to retest the top of that channel. I would expect us to get rejected at there. We maybe get, maybe get a little bit through it and then, go to 67.74. But I think we're going to pop on the market into the top channel test, and then we get rejected and we probably sell off. We'll see what happens, but that's where I see us going. Big pivot point on the market today, 65.25. We simply are just bouncing off of the bottom hourly channel. We got a little bit of an uptrend from that area, pre-market uptrend as well. Pay attention to that spot right there. 65.25 and 64. 64 breaks to the downside. We start to sell back off towards 262.15. And then, we'll probably retest the bottom area. And this morning, though, I'm primarily looking for a push back to the top, rejection, sell off. So I'm going to take a screenshot of the SPY. Remember, 65.25 is your pivot point this morning on the market. Take a look at Apple very quick. Oof, Apple does not look good. I have to get rid of all this. $212.32. Obviously, this is our big support right here. And if that breaks, we go back to the lows, 208.34, and then we can get back into the 206 spot, which is where we went to yesterday. That breaks, we got room to 215. So Apple right here, we're sitting on the support this morning. This is going to be our pivot area. If this area breaks to the downside on Apple, we're going to get continuation back towards the 208. That will pull down the market as well, actually. So watch Apple this morning. The market has been trading in sympathy with Apple the last couple of days. Big spot for us. 212.32 breaks to the downside, confirms. We sell back off to 208.35. That breaks, 206. This holds up. We should push back towards the 215 range. Simple as that. We'll see what Apple does on the open. We got earnings coming up on Apple, so it may get a little bit bought into, but the fact that the range snapped yesterday was fairly bearish for the market. That's what's needed for the blow off to the downside, which I still think is going to occur at some point near future. We got an Apple event today too. I think it's at 10:30. I'm going to take a look. One sec. 10:30. I think it's hardware or something like that. Yeah, 10:30 market time. So we'll see what happens into that. It's breaking the support right now, so give that a quick watch alongside the market. Precursor for it to sell off. I'm looking at the SPY right now, and the way that SPY is moving and Apple's moving, maybe a little bit less sympathy than what we're used to. Let's take a look at Amazon. Amazon got absolutely smashed yesterday. Yeah, will do, Brian. One sec. Amazon got absolutely smashed yesterday. Brutal sell-off. This thing actually has more downside in my opinion. 1483. Big resistance here at 1528, and then if it can't get above there, or if it can, sorry, 1570. That's support, and then two support levels, 1452. And that's pretty much it. Okay. So Amazon is actually below the pivot area right now, which is this 1528 spot. If it can't reclaim this on the open, Amazon will continue to sell off towards 1480. 1480 breaks, it's got room to 1450. Oh, trader, here you go, boss. So watch this 1528 on Amazon. Reclaims, you can get a push towards 1570. Yeah, I think we might get a little bit more of a blow off towards that 1450 spot, Mav, especially if we're unable to reclaim that pivot today. So Amazon out the gate, you're going to be testing that pivot. We're right below it right now, so just be a little bit cautious. See what happens with it. Premiums are going to be pretty stupid on those option contracts. But I mean, with the stock with 100 point of range, you don't really need to trade options. You can trade whatever you want, equity side. Let's go through Netflix. So Netflix, this is that double bottom support 292 that it was unable to hold yesterday. We got a little bit of support there, 275, resistance pivot area, 286 for now. And then you got room back to the basically 300 spot if you can get above there. Okay, so pivot point right this morning is right here. We're below it, just like we are on the rest of the SPY. So let's just take a look here. Apply, okay. So pivot point is the 286.70 spot. If we're unable to reclaim that on Netflix, we're going to sell back to yesterday's lows, 275.24. If we do reclaim this 286.60 on the open, you should be able to push to 292, get above there, 299 we can push. That's going to be a big area on the open. We'll see what happens. We're trading in a little bit of an uptrend, but we're below EMA support. The FANG doesn't look great this morning. There's no question. It does not look good. Apple being below that range support as well is fairly bearish. We got to see how it reacts on the open. Don't take positions until the open, in my opinion. Options players, you're going to be playing with a lot of premiums. Stick with the lower beta FANG names. They're going to be the cheapest for you, but I still think they're going to have a lot of range. So, Netflix would be a good one. Obviously, Amazon's going to be real expensive. Facebook has earnings coming out today, I believe. Or what is it? No. Wednesday. So, or Thursday. So what? Facebook. Let's take a look at that one. 142. Is it tonight? Yeah. Well, okay, 30th. That's what I thought. I just wasn't completely sure. So 139 is your support. This one you may see it get a little bit bought up today, but we'll see. It's been pretty much smashed into earnings. That's weird. That one didn't go. So pivot point on Facebook this morning is right here, 142.27. And by the way, guys, I put the pivot points in blue. If, you know, you're not connecting the dots, but that's the pivot point. 142.20 breaks to the downside. They sell back off to yesterday's lows. If this holds up, you push back towards the 143.28, towards 144.35. I think this is going to be pinned within a range today, unless you see the actual market push hard. Most likely, you're going to see it to the downside. And if you do break to the upside, it's not really going to have a lot of room for you to play. So watch Facebook. That 142.27 level is your area of support. I'd play it to the downside. Easiest way to play it. Hey, Brian, make sure, let me know if your mic and stuff works now. There's a couple of Brians. I think I clicked the right one.
You got me.
I got you. Perfect.
You got me.
Perfect. So that's Facebook. I might have to reload my platform here. I think it just froze up. Oh, sorry, Matt. I don't know why sometimes it doesn't do, you guys. And Maverick. Promote to panelist. There we go. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. We're good. Give me 1 sec, guys. I just got to reload this. One more thing to do, Google, and then South Beach will come on, give you his thoughts. I'm going to load up center point. Okay, 1 sec. I'm just going to pop up the screen share again. Finish off with Google, and then we'll go. I'll pass it over to South Beach as I upload everything. Google, let's take a look at Google. Same concept as the rest of the thing. Let's get rid of all this crap. All the drawings. Okay. Google. So what's Google going to do today? We got pivot point right here, 120, well, 1030. 1030 pivot, 1051 resistance, and then 1008 or 1008, sorry, to the downside. Pivot point right here. This breaks, you go to $1,008. Simple as that. It's probably going to break it, but we'll see on the open. Again, wait for the open for these positions, in my opinion. SPY seems to be holding up okay. So we got to see what it wants to do. So that's Google. Very simple. 1030 breaks, you got room to 1008. 1030 holds, you can push back to 1059. So I'm going to pass it over to South Beach. He's going to give you a breakdown of kind of what he sees from the macro side, any analyst calls he's looking at, and then we'll go back and recap everything and go from there. Thanks, guys. For now, I'll be in the background.
Hey guys, how's it going? Okay, so what are we looking at today? In these kind of tapes, markets open higher to go lower. This market's going low. Okay, when the futures are up 11, it's like an opportunity from my point of view to short a little bit. Excuse me. Okay, so bond prices are up a little bit this morning. That's a little bullish for banks and stuff, but you know what? I want to see how they trade. When you're trading this kind of tape, you have to, even if you have a preconceived notion, okay, like I liked, let's call it the Brazilian stocks, and I came in long PBR and Valet. I sold them. I didn't like the way they acted, and I went short. Okay, I called it out. I told you guys I was going short. Prices don't lie, and you can trade the trend, and you can get involved no matter what you think. The stock will tell you what to do. And when it tells you what to do, listen to it, okay? If the stock says, I'm going lower, short it. If the stock says, I'm going higher, buy it. It's that simple, all right? So what's going on in the marketplace right now, and has been for a bit, is people are selling high beta stocks, meaning a high beta stock means it moves more than the market does. That's the definition of high beta. So like an Amazon or Google, the high beta stocks, the ones that really move. Those stocks have been given up the ghost. People are getting out of those. And the low beta stocks like utilities and consumer non-durables and even retailers are a little different, have been going up. Retailers are the only ones that benefit from a weak dollar. So that's why they've been really strong. Okay. So this market is not gonna stop going down until you get a puke. VIX gonna be much higher than it is now, in my opinion, and stocks are gonna cascade down, and that'll be the capitulation bottom. I think it'll happen in a week or two. And so what I'm doing now is I'm making a list of stocks that I like. And stocks I want to buy when I see that capitulation down. I have probably half a dozen names on the list right now. I probably will add, but when I see that puke, I will be in there buying those stocks, okay? I don't want to think about it as it's happening when people are panicking. I want to have my wits about me, and I want to be able to buy them from my list when I see this happening. So I'm ready to roll, okay? And I've been short against the box, as you know, on all my positions. Some have worked in my favor, like DNR and DuPont and Box. In fact, in some of them, I actually made more money because I had calls, and against the calls, I had stock, which created a synthetic put. I don't know if you guys understand that concept or not. But when you're long a call and short stock, you're effectively long a put. So I actually made money in stocks that I like going down. Yes, I will share the list if you'd like. I'm happy to do it. Okay. So I actually made money in stocks I liked where I was 100% wrong because I listened to what the stock is telling me. Okay. And so you have to do that no matter what you think of a stock. If it looks like it's going down, don't be long. So some of the stocks that I really like that I shorted against the box, actually went up. Like MA has earnings today. I love that stock. Okay. But I have no position. Well, I guess it has been going down, but today the earnings are good. And American Tower is a name I absolutely love that I'm not involved in, and they had good earnings. So that's how it goes. Some work out in your favor and some not as much, but whatever. You have to go by your conviction. So let's talk about GE for a second. You guys want to talk about GE? He did exactly what I suspected he would do. He slashed the dividend. Does anybody know why he slashed it to a penny? Why he kept a penny dividend? Anybody have any idea why? Why do you think first of all, they missed earnings badly. Exactly, Raj. Some funds can only buy dividend stocks. So he prevented those companies from having to sell the stock. Okay. Otherwise, it would have been cascading lower. I probably would do so if you wanted to buy this stock, and I'm not recommending it. Okay. But if you wanted to buy this stock, what I would probably do is take yesterday's close and use that as a buy stop, which is what, 36 cents above this. So 11.20, 11.16. I would use that as my buy stop. Okay. And I should do that right now. I'll put in a buy stop to buy GE at 11.16. If it goes green, because the conference call is going good, I think that's a pretty good idea. But if you want to invest, the CEO is freaking great. Okay, if anybody can turn this piece of shit around, it's this guy. So if you want to invest in this company, I'm not condoning it or condemning it. I'm just saying I would use that as my my level. What else is going on? PBR Valet, DNR I discussed, GE I discussed. Stocks open higher to go lower. I would key. I was in Apple Store last night. Okay, I wanted to get an Apple Watch. I told you guys I was buying a bunch of them for my parents and stuff because of the health benefits. And it monitors your heart and all that other stuff. And I got to tell you, the place was freaking empty. And they just launched a new phone 2 days ago. There wasn't one person who bought a phone in the hour that I was there. So, I know that their business is based mostly upon service. I mean, it's 40% of, I think, profits at this point, and like 25% of revenues. But based upon what I saw, there's no one in the damn store. And this is a really, really popular store. Okay. I mean, like you go in there sometimes and it is just jammed. And if, 5 o'clock or 4:45, no one's buying a phone, it struck me as being odd. Anyway, I'm watching Amazon. Look at this thing. It's just getting smoked here. I know a couple of you guys called that as being a short. You got to watch that stuff. Okay. And these other things where people are going to the low beta stocks as a place to hide, that makes a lot of sense to me. Oil down $1. What I like to do on these earnings days, I love earnings days because it gives me a chance to know which groups are doing well and which aren't. So I've been saying all along the home-centric stocks, the ones that go into building and stuff like that, have been doing shitty. And if you look here, Trex missed badly, Masco missed, Lumber Liquidators missed, American Armstrong World missed. All of those companies sell into the building of a home or the redoing of a home. It seems to me like the consumer is a lot more tapped out than people think. I know retailers are doing good but I think that's more of a margin call on a weak dollar. And now I see Texas Roadhouse missing, which is I guess a middle of the line restaurant. I just think the consumer is, a little shell shocked. And I think you got to be careful in those kind of names. I mean, clearly they just decimated this home construction, home building, home decorating group. And so that's one area that I noticed is really crappy. I'm really curious. Pfizer did really well on their earnings, kind of sort of like Merck did the other day, and they shit the bed on they're hitting the stock a little bit. So I'm watching that. I saw Akamai was good and Clack, but those are really niche kind of stocks. So that didn't impress me. So what I do is I go through the list and see if they're up or down, very simply. Okay. And if I don't know the company, I look it up. I go to Yahoo Finance and I see what they did. I don't know every stock. So the ones I don't know, I go through. And I say, okay, what do they do? So on and so forth. So what was really good today was BP really knocked the cover off the ball. And Under Armour is good, but I don't trust it. So I got to see what that does. MA was good. Akamai, Clack, you could see what's good, but I'm more interested in what's not good, to be honest with you. And I already mentioned what wasn't good. So I'm looking at the fact that all these other stock markets around the world are doing much worse than we are. I mean, if you look at Asia, these things are down year to date, 2%, 13%, 22%. FTSE is down 6%, DAX is down 14%, and we're still up. So I think there's room on the downside in the U.S. market. I won't trust it, like I said, until you get that puke. And I started making a list. I told you guys I would tell you some of the names are on it. Hold on. Billy F. If Apple is based mostly on services, can we track net new customers versus hardware sales? No, I don't think you can, to be honest with you. No, I don't think you can. So where's some of the stocks on my list? Hold on. The first one on my list is XPO Logistics. If you remember back, this stock was going to get taken over at like 140, and who was going to buy them, et cetera, et cetera. Just been cascading down the last few weeks. It's a real high quality company. Moody's MCO is one on my list. There's a new issue on my list. You remember that ESTC, Elastic? That's on my list. Letter I, DuPont, and Salesforce. That's my list so far. Okay, you guys got that? XPO, ESTC, MCO, Letter I, DuPont, and CRM. So if I see a puke, I will be in there buying those names. Yesterday I was pretty busy trading. I was letting you guys know which groups I was involved in. It worked out pretty good. I hope some of you guys were able to get involved in some of the names. We kind of caught that downdraft pretty well. And, now the market was up 11 or 12 handles. Now it's down a little bit. I just want to see that puke. And I don't think it's coming just yet. I think it's going to come more towards the election. Whether it's before or after, I don't know. But I'm watching it. Raj, I think, you know what I like watching, Raj, is the XLU, which is the index. I think you can it's very thick and you can trade the shit out of it. No, I'm long Pel HB, I'm long nothing. I'm short against the box on everything. I've been saying that for a while. The only stock I'm long, I don't want you guys involved in, and the reason I'm long is I can't sell it. It doesn't trade enough in a day. So I can't, you can't get out, you can't get out. That's how it goes. But I believe in it, and et cetera, et cetera. But I just don't want you guys involved in it because it's too illiquid. So I have no longs. I do have Caesars calls, which I told you, and I have PCG calls, and I have an Intel butterfly. Amazon and Google on a past puke environment, consider they have already. You know what, Cornell? I don't like getting involved in those two stocks. It's just my nature. They're too volatile for me. And I think they end up trading me more than I trade them. And I find if I have a position in them, I can't trade a lot of different names, which something I like to do. I like to trade groups. So I have a lot of names all the time. And if you have Amazon and Google, you have to focus on just Amazon and Google. So it's not for me. Now, I'm not saying these two companies are awesome and they would be great to put on a list, I guess, to buy in a puke. I just don't like to have them. It's just not my thing. and it's cost me money not having the balls to play him, to be honest. Or just buy him and put him away. But I don't, and I don't want to play him, and I'm not gonna. GE, I talked about. Someone just asked me on GE. I would only buy it if it went through last night's high. Okay. Otherwise, let it go down. And that would be something that I would, I have no opinion on. I just know that the CEO is awesome, but the company really, is seems to be in disarray. So anyway, I see Nasdaq's down 31 now, and S&Ps are unchanged. If they crush them, I'll try to buy a few things, but they're just rentals. I want to see, for me to buy them and have some faith and keep something, I want to see the capitulation. And with the VIX trading at 25, I think it's got a lot of upside. So I'm not going to do it anytime soon unless all hell breaks loose. Anybody want to ask any questions while I'm on? If I come up with new names, I'm happy to share them with you guys. Today I felt was a good day to start because I think the capitulation we're getting closer to it. Okay, so let's see what groups I'll be looking at today. Clearly, I'll be watching the FANGs. Okay, if they turn around, I think they could turn around the market, but with the way it looks now, I think lower before higher. AMD, I shorted that yesterday. I'll probably go back to the well with that one today. On the long side, I'm playing nothing, and maybe I'll play retail, but only if I have a bunch of shorts on the sheets. I'm just not going to buy something and hope the market turns around. That's a bad strategy. But I'll probably look for more names like lumber liquidators so I can short them. Home centric kind of stocks. If I could find one or two that haven't reported yet, and if anybody sees a name like that, like an AWI or something like that hasn't reported, let me know. I think that's probably a good area to short. And look at oil. Oil's getting smashed down to $1.42. It's like the places to hide are few and far between right now. I mean, they're just really starting to get to everything. So we'll see what happens with that. No other questions. I'm not in UVXY crypto. But you know what? I haven't played it. I don't know why. It's not in my line of vision for some reason, but I do like it for, I think it's a great trading vehicle. And I think that Spartan's really good at it. I just don't focus on it. I trade the S&Ps more. And I'm not I think UVXY is, if I'm not mistaken, that's an ultra or something like that, which I try not to trade. I don't like trading those leverage things. Yeah, it's an ultra. So that's the reason I don't do it. Home builders possible short. The home builders have been strong, Raj. So I was short them yesterday. So maybe, yeah, they had a good run. That's a good idea. Listen, you know what? You risk 30 cents. And if, you get stopped out, you get stopped out. And if not, you let it ride. I think that's not a bad idea. I mean, that's my game, like throw a bunch of names out. Be willing to lose a little bit on the names, and hopefully I'll make 3 to 1 on the ones I'm right on. So it works out okay. Door is a good idea, Jason. I'm going to look at that. I think that's a really good idea. Thank you. Appreciate it. I think that's a really good idea. So let's see what else. UVXY. Yeah, I don't do leverage plays. You think Mexican president backing out of airport construction was one of the issues? It could be. Is that what happened, Ed? If that's the case, I mean, I noticed that Mexico was really weak, and that's why I shorted KSU, if you remembered, right? I called it out. I think the stock was kind of sort of like unchanged-ish, maybe down slightly, and it really got smashed after that. Okay, so that's, I don't know. Maybe he's pulling away from the deal or something. But for me, the best stock to trade based on Mexico is KSU. Okay, they have the rails that anything that goes back and forth to Mexico that's done by rail is them. Okay, they can take a truck, rail, or airline. Very few of the things go vis-a-vis air. Most of it is either truck or rail, and probably most of it's rail. So KSU, if things don't go great down there, they're going to be the one that takes it on the chin first. That was my opinion. So I'm sitting here basically, trying to game the market. I'm looking for clues as to what's going to be good and what's going to be bad, and trading accordingly. Barton, you ready to roll?
Hey, can I jump on a little bit here right before you
Oh,
get
yeah, sure.
Okay, guys, this is not, you have to look at the weekly charts now, and you have to look at the 100 EMA, all right? So we've clearly broken the 50 EMA on Amazon. The next, for me, is you're going to go next to the 100 EMA, all right? And this is going to continue and continue and continue until we get to the level. I personally think the 100 weekly 100 EMA is a good spot for this thing to kind of bounce a little bit. As long as Amazon, as far as I'm concerned, closes and holds below $14.99, $1,500 on a weekly basis, that's my pivot point right now. Okay, you really don't have anything until the at least on a fib basis. Spartan can shout out something sooner, but for me, it's all about the weeklies. All right. Also, I want you to keep an eye on IWM. Okay, that has led all the way down. Right now, it has to hold on a weekly basis last week's low. If that gets taken out, then basically we're going all the way back down to the 200 EMA, which is 136.90. It also has 149.92 as its pivot point. So if you're looking at levels, charts, do it on the weekly. If you want to do on the scalping basis, obviously it's going to be the daily, but on the big picture, guys, it's all about the weekly right now. Okay. I just think it's a shit show, and I think Mav had something really important to mention. The only thing holding up SPY right now is Apple. Okay, if that starts to go, and I do see Apple below 200. First I said 212, then I said I see below 200. I see it below 200. Okay, and that should be happening. That will be the last, I think, flush that we need to get this market rejiggled and set up to the point where it possibly could start to have a more than a one-day rally sort of effect. Okay, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Beth. Good to hear from you, man. Guys, SPY's breaking down the pivot point to the downside. 262.15 is the next area of support, and then we're probably going to retest the bottom channel. Let's go through everything real quick. Guys, if you're new to the chat, one second, I got to help one guy. Give me 1 second here. If you're new to the chat, click on the Discord link in the Zoom. You'll have to just go there and click on the announcement sections after you get into the chat. This will give you a good indication of what each channel does. I'm just going to post that again. And what you want to focus on in the morning is the pre-market tickers on watch. That's what I'm going to be going through right now. So these are the tickers that we're watching this morning. I got the FANG posted already. You got the gap up and gap downs, what's associated with them there. One of them switched from EVLT to COM. I'll change that later. Doesn't really matter for now. But anywho, let's go through that stuff. Then we'll go through the SPY and the FANG real quick. GSL, small one, merger with K&T Marine, $780 million deal. They got $340 million in debt, but they are a $50 million market cap company. So still significant upside. Look for a pullback towards the 130 to 140 spot for basing consolidation. Needs to break the little flag or downtrend, I should say, to the upside. And then you can get continuation to 160. Gets above there, you go to 2. TTWO. Kind of already charted this out this morning, but basically on this one, we're looking for a pullback towards the, this should be over here. We're looking for a pullback towards the 120.62 level now. It already got topping at the area that we talked about. This one, I think if you can grab it on basing, then it will be a good long. It's pulling back with the market as well. But the news itself, they did 725 million in basically a week, which is about 35%, 40% of their yearly revenue. Well, that's pretty impressive. So we'll see, where this thing can pull back to, but look for basing in order to take it long. Until it bases, it's a short from up here. It did pop up a lot. If that 120.62 does end up breaking, you got room back to the 117 mark. So look for that thing to pull back a little bit more. CHGG, these guys had good guidance. The good guidance plays, the guidance raises when the market's weak are typically where people will flock to the bulls. So watch for this thing to continue higher today. I think a pullback towards 124.64 to 124.30, good spot to take it. It's been absolutely smashed on the daily to the downside. If this thing breaks that 25.60 mark, it will continue towards the 27 area. 1 second. Siri, we can, or you won't, can't hear me. We'll fix it later. Okay. So we'll watch that CHGG pullback basing continuation higher. 25.60 is unable to break. It will pull back. If it does break, that's kind of your pivot point on the chart today. 26.70 is where it will go to. Next one we're going to be looking at is, let's see here, UAA, Under Armour. These guys also raised guidance. Look for topping around the 21.70 to 22 mark to bring it back down to maybe 20.62. If that doesn't end up holding, it will pull back to 19.88. I like this. I like the retailers. I like the guidance that was raised. It's breaking out of a downtrend channel. I like this thing on any sort of pullback basing to grab it long. Other than that, if it pops in the morning towards the 21.70, 22 mark, look for topping, take it short. Simple as that. A calm. Again, nice buyback, nice guidance, nice earnings. Also a little bit of sympathy off of Red Hat, but yeah. Watch this 28.70, 69.43 mark. This is your resistance for now. Topping here, it should pull back towards the 66.70 mark. That's where I look for basing to grab it long. Again, bulls are going to flock to things that are, raised guidance, bullish earnings, etc. So look for basing before you grab it long. Downtrend breaks, you can take it long. It will probably be an all-day grinder. I love the chart to the upside. I think this is one of those charts that gets serious continuation, and shorts will get caught into it. So watch for that thing there. Last but not least, CGNX. Let's take a look at this one. CGNX lowered guidance. Any pop towards $37.30 to $38, I think, is a good area to take it short for an all-day fader continuation to the downside. Again, this will be kind of like an FDC play that we had yesterday on continuation lower. Wait for it to set up, wait for the topping to occur, and then short it. If this thing is unable to get above this area this morning and just starts pulling to 34.30, watch that area. If it breaks, it will continue lower towards 33 mark. So should be a good day today. Just like yesterday, we'll be guiding you on the market and the SPY. You know how much I love to play the puts on the SPY when we do sell off. So I'll be all over that today, especially the VIX. Tech said stay calm, and absolutely. Nothing's changed from what we usually do, guys. It's just, business as usual here. So we'll be guiding you on that stuff. I think Beth may be in here for the first little bit this morning, which is great.
I'm by your back right now. I'll be here for a little bit. Okay,
great. So that's a nice little treat as well. But other than that, guys, we should have a good little morning. Let's quickly rip through the FANG. SPY. So SPY pivot point right here. I just don't know why it's not blue anymore. You're trading within the channel. We've been bouncing around in the channel for, 2 weeks. If that area is not reclaimed, we should go lower towards 260.215. And if that area breaks, 261, we'll test the bottom of the channel. If we reclaim this area, we go to the top channel. Simple as that this morning. It's all going to depend on, as it has in the last couple of days, in my opinion, on Apple. there's a little bit less sympathy on the spine Apple today. That's what I've noticed already. But that Apple 212 spot, 212.30 is the big area. If we're unable to even reclaim this level, Apple's going to 208. If that 208 breaks, we go back to the lows of yesterday. So watch Apple for continuation. FANG does not look good this morning. Apple included there. Amazon, we kind of just charted this out, but it's got some support at 1478. If that area breaks, you go to 1450 quick. It already broke the pivot point. Well, it never got above it. And that pivot area is at 15. Let me just pull this all the way down. 1528. So watch this now. Watch this 1478 mark. If that support is unable to be held, you will sell off. Continuation lower. Facebook's already breaking the support. 142 was your pivot support area. It's going to 139. Earnings after the bell today. If it does end up reclaiming this pivot area, that 142, it's just going to chop around between 142, 143, 144. Not a lot of range there. More so of a downside play. That's about it. Netflix 275, yesterday's support level, huge area of support on the daily. I don't know why all my support levels disappeared, but right there. And then we got one at 286 and then 292 is already there. Okay, cool. So watch the 275 area on Netflix. If that area breaks, you got more downside towards 263. Come on. Oops, that's that area. Where'd it go? There we go. 263. So that 275 is a big area this morning. That breaks, you got more downside. And then last but not least, Google. Google already broke the pivot point to the downside. It's going to 1008. So that's where Google's going this morning. Let's go through a couple questions. Market's going to open up in 5 minutes, but I'll do a couple. AMD almost hitting 60. I told you guys $16 this week. Once it broke within this range, it needed to go to the bottom range, which is 16 bucks. If that area breaks, you got room all the way to 1466. Can I go through Roku? Sure. I think Roku will continue short below that $50 mark towards $47. Thoughts on earnings? I think if we get a pullback, probably to around, I mean, look, you're off a cliff, essentially. You got to get it to around 22 bucks, maybe on some basing, $20. I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to touch it for a little bit. Tesla, that's a good one to go through real quick. Would be surprised to be pulling back here. Yeah, okay, so Tesla 327 is your support. That breaks, you got room to 320. That's your area of support right now. If it is able to hold, you can get a bounce back towards probably 334, 333. NVIDIA. So we saw that analyst upgrade this morning. $180, 580 is your support area. That's kind of your pivot point on NVIDIA today. If that's unable to get reclaimed and hold, it's testing it already. It's going to start to sell off back towards the 182. That breaks, you go to yesterday's lows. If that holds up, you can go back to 192. I'll do one more. We got to get ready for the open. Maybe BA, that's a good one. Boeing. So Boeing's coming into absolutely huge range support here. 50 EMA on the weekly and 328 support. So watch that area. That area, if it holds, you should get a decent little bounce on it back into the 130s, mid 130s in my opinion. So look for that. QQQ. Watch it calm, guys. It just broke out of the flag to the upside. It's going to $72, in my opinion. A little bit of a crazy little spread on it. QQQ 162 is your support. That does not hold up. You go to 159.35. Watch Amazon off of QQQ. That's your support right now, that 162 area. Okay, that's it. Focus on the list. Focus on one or two things, guys. You cannot trade everything. Focus. That's how you make money in trading. Don't spread your money across everything. Focus on one or two things. Pick what you want to play in terms of price range and news, and then focus on it. Simple as that. If you want to play SPY puts, then you play SPY puts. If you want to play something else, play something else. The key is make sure that you're paying attention to what you're trying to play and you're playing it accordingly. Yeah, let's have a good day today. If you're trading options on the open, make sure that you're waiting a little bit. Premiums will be a little silly. But other than that, we should have a good day. Business as usual. Stay calm, stay patient as per usual. If we do get continuation lower today, I expect the trends to be fairly intact the entire day. So let's go. So a couple things, guys. Watch the SPY this morning. If we're unable to reclaim this pivot area, it looks like we're going to get rejected at it right away. Should pull back. A calm's got room to $72. A calm, $72 if you are scalping it. 72. So watch that thing for a little bit more of a push, and then I'd be selling into this little pop here. Watch your TTWO going towards the 117 spot already. Look for that thing for a little bit of support down here, and then you can start to look for basing to grab it long. I would look at UAA short into the 22 spot, guys. It is getting a little extended. Look for topping on this thing to grab it short. I want to flip up this TTWO because I think this is a nice opportunity on the pullback. Watch it at the 117 to 116 spot. That's where you'll see some support come in. UAA, I think it's worth taking a short, guys. Tight stops. Don't take full size on that thing. Scale into it. Watch the market, guys. It's going to retest the pivot right now. Downtrend's breaking from the pre-market. I would watch Amazon off the bottom here long. Watch Amazon off the bottom here long, guys. Support holding up. You can bounce this thing. It's got room to bounce. Sell some TTWO if you're playing that support. Okay. Sell some TTWO. I'm trying to get filled on the 121. Come on, baby. There we go. Two points on TTWO. Easy money. I'll look to revisit that thing. Watch the CGNX. Swapping into support.
I am playing Amazon on the long side, guys. I said 1500's the pivot, and the minute Spotin shouted out that it broke the downtrend line, I grabbed some Amazon calls, weeklies, okay?
Yeah, it should get to 1530, I think, right now.
Perfect. Okay, thanks.
Market looks good. I mean, we broke the downtrend, and that it's reclaiming the pivot. If it holds this area in the next 10 minutes, guys, we're going to push towards, I think, 267. Make sure your stops are hard on TTWO if you're playing the bounce. I have CGNX up on the side. I'll be watching it. Watch this Chem, guys. Nice little earnings. It's got room to $21. C or KEM. Should get continuation on there. Nice momentum as well. Has room to 21. Looking for a little bit more of a push on TTWO to 122. Just a little bit more. If you guys do want to short something that EVLT, I think it's a, remember how we talked about the any pop? Good opportunity. That's a good one. Let's see here. What else do we got? TGNX not ready yet. I'll be waiting. We got the pot stocks bouncing a little bit. Still holding the TLROI puts. GE. Downtrend break. I mean, you can probably push back towards the $11 mark. I'm not touching it. To be, you know, for me, it's not. There's just not enough range for me to play that thing, so I'm not going to be touching it. If you guys do want to play something on the SPY in terms of calls, I'd look at the 265 calls on the SPY, and that would only be a scalp. Expiration tomorrow. I still think a calm is going to continue higher towards that 72 mark. So watch that thing on the flag break. Watch your CGNX, guys. This is where you're going to see the topping within these two areas for the pullback. I think I'm going to take the rest of this TTWO off. Give it a couple minutes here, and then I'll look to grab or take it off. Very quick, I just want to pull up CHGG. Watch it on a pullback into this area, guys. This is where you would want to see the basing. If you're scalping it short, you know, be covering a little piece into this area. This is where the support is. So just be aware of that. If you take CGNX here, the randomness, just make sure your stops are pretty tight above the that high there. Scale into it. See if that CGNX starts to get an all-day fader. If it breaks the pre-market trend, which is kind of hard to see, but that will be an indication to add into the position. There's your CHGG pulling into the support here. Let's see how it reacts. I still like a calm the best. TLRY, you want to scalp it long crypto, it needs to break the 92 like 30 area for you to do that. So watch for that 92.30 to break. I'm looking for 72 on the stock, guys, a comp 72. Wait for the high of the day to break to scalp it. So I'm out of the rest of TTWO. Check out the SPY here. If you've taken CGNX stops, you got to give it about a point of room, guys. Don't add into it unless that breaks. Tucker, that CLVS, I would just leave it. Still being absolutely smashed. I've tried it twice on starters and it didn't work both times. So I'm just going to wait. This is the key, guys, right here. Apple 212.30 reclaimed. We should start to push across the board. I still like, I like what the market's doing. It reclaimed the pivot area. I think we will push. If you have those 265 calls, continue to hold them. Be patient with it. The fact that Apple just reclaimed the support area is very good. Watch CHGG, guys. This is your support area. Now we're looking for basing here to take it long. Nice thing is your stops can be pretty tight. I mean, you're only going to give it 60 cents a room on your starter size. Your stops hard at 24. Oh, fuck you. I should have held it. I missed another 1.5 points. Watch that thing on a scalp, that TTWO. Because it is breaking that pre-market downtrend and it should be able to push off of that level. Hey guys, here's your calm flag. Again, only scalping through that high of the day break towards the 72 mark. If you do want to take that CHGG long, take it long here. Here's your chem pushing towards the 21 spot if you are playing that one. Okay, guys, SPY calls. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Sell half of them right now. Bingo. Right into the 265.20 spot. This is our big resistance here. Now, if we can't get above this area, we're not going to push anymore. The fact that Apple has reclaimed the support is great, but we need to hold above. 212.81 on Apple's the key now. That's what needs to break. That is our support daily. Mandalorian. Oh, you can't hear me. hold the rest of those SPY calls. I have it up on the side, guys, so I'll guide you on it. I want to see this. I want to scalp this one, so I think it'll be easy money. Hey, Gennaro, you can hear me, right? Take us if you want to take CGNX short, you got to wait for this next little pop and then look to grab it. It's going to pop right now. You can see it lining up on the L2. So wait for that to occur first. The CHGG long is working decent. See if we can get it back towards the 25.60 mark. So Gennaro, if you want to take this thing short, small starter right now, you got to risk just above 38.50. Go like 38.60. Keep it small for now. So stops go right above here, Gennaro. Right above that high. Make sure to be covering some, Gennaro, into the 36.40 spot. Yeah, Raj, I'm staring at that UAA. Looking for that little bit of topping to grab it. It's still very strong, being bought along the 4. I think you need to see an extension candle before you touch it. Just to play it safe. Or a break at the 21.61 area. I like the fact that Amazon's holding up the support. I like the fact that Apple's holding up the support as well. We just confirmed Netflix is nice and weak here. Maybe an opportunity there on Netflix, guys. It's lagging behind the entire market. Keep your eye on that. Facebook, meh. I think Google will be another decent one. All about Apple though. Because it reclaimed that 1230 mark, we can start to push back towards the 215, and the market should go to 20 or 265.20. So hold those calls. Just be patient on them. Make sure, Tom, if you're short CGNX, stops tight at the highs. Don't add into the position unless the trend actually breaks. We got the 50 EMA and we got another resistance point right here. That's what we're using as our resistance to short into. Let's see if the market can push through the 25 or 265.20s. Continue to hold those calls. We should get a little bit of more of a pop there. We'll see. There we go. Now we got room to 266. Sorry, 265.77 pre-market highs. Hold those calls. Should be able to get paid on these. Guys, if you do want to scalp something long, that Tilray, if it breaks 92.80 on Tilray, should be able to get a pop. Right there. Make sure your stops are tight on that CGNX, guys. I think it's gonna pop. Stop us out here. I just got stopped out of my starter on CGNX. Not ready yet. If you guys want to look for something long, watch this TTWO. I really like this one for continuation higher. I'm going to sell another quarter of these SPY calls. I'm almost up 1 point on them. Hold the last piece. Yeah, that UAA Raj is too strong. I would play it long. Scalp it on the flag break. That's it. Unless it breaks at 4 EMA, it's going to continue higher. Two ways to play. Breaks the parabolic trend, take it down. I think most likely you're going to see continuation on it. When the market rallies after pullback days, it rallies hard typically. And that's what we're seeing right now. Come on, SPY, let's go. Watch your TTWO, guys. I'm telling you, that's a good one. Your charts are freezing. Call them up and yell at them. Get some free trades out of it, guys. Watch this TTWO 123.45 breaks. You're gonna have a little bit more room. SPY target hit. 1 point on the options. Your Amazon should be pushing towards 1530, almost there. Make sure you're selling into this target, guys. 1530, not the entire position, but a large majority of it. That's your big resistance point right there. SPY 266.70, next spot. I'm up 50% and change. Well, 60% on the calls. More than that. Watch your Tilray, guys. It did break the 92 spot. It's working in terms of the scalp. Should have room to 98 bucks. Right there. A little bit more to go on the SPY. Did it bounce off the range support? Look at that, guys, to the T. What was that area of support? Weekly range and 50 EMA. 120 or 328. Right to the mid 30s. Watch TTWO. Over that 123.45, it will go to 125. A calm I still really like. I'm waiting for it to break 71. CGNX, I would just leave it ocean on the short side. It's too strong today. It's going to be a nightmare to short. Come on.
Spartan, dry ships. You see it?
Yeah. Downtrend break daily, decent amount of volume coming in on the last 10 minutes. Almost there, guys. Look at that. Pivot reclaimed. We go to the top channel. We're almost there. Yeah, make sure to be selling that Tilray as it pushes LT. It has room to 98. Does not mean it will get there. It just means it has room. Bingo. SPY target hit. Now we got room to 267. It's going to push, Raj, for sure. It should flag. Watch your calm, guys. Okay, SPY target hit.
Spawn, did you see I posted that buying the 269 is pretty heavy?
Oh yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Really heavy.
This is the resistance right here, though.
Yeah, I saw that.
Sell another 1/8 of those SPY calls. If you're scalping Amazon or any of the FANG long, you want to be selling into this area, not your entire position, but a large majority. This is the big resistance point. We'll see what happens with it. If we can get through it, you know, we'll see if we can pop more, but this is being the downtrend that we've been rejected on constantly the entire week. Apple 215. This is exactly where we thought it was going. This is the range retest of the basically the big range that it broke down on the market. Look for a pullback off of this level, people. Amazon, same thing. 1530s tapped. 30 points from those lows. Well, a bit more actually. Not bad.
Way more than that. Make it more like 50.
Well, there you go. A calm. Watch
Just
the. We'll count them up later, Beth.
Hey, it feels good. That's all I can say. No, I keep pounding about IWM. I really think this is the clue is IWM. I know a lot of people don't like to look at it, but for me, the fact that it started to bottom yesterday, and we have a double bottom in it, I think that's meaningful. The fact that Amazon has reclaimed where it needed to reclaim is meaningful as well. So, just saying. Am I willing to go long up the wazoo? No, but I'm willing to scalp long during the day now. So that's important too.
SPY should get a little bit of a pullback here, guys. It's extended into the resistance point. That's why we're taking profit off. Simple as that. I only have 1/8 of these calls left. They are up just under 100%. They're like 90% right now. I expect to pull back on the market a little bit. Remember, guys, we talked about this morning. This is the retest of the channel. If we don't hold the support, we will sell off the rest of the day. Nice bullish move for now, though. Now we just gotta wait. I'd be taking the rest of your Tilray off. It's extended as well. It should pull back. Nothing wrong with that randomness. Things will be setting up now. Is a calm ready for a short? No, I don't think so. Again, I think this thing's going to run people over all day. It has so far. If it fails to break this downtrend, Trader 2020, you could probably lean into it, but I'm still thinking that it's going to push more. Nice job, Trader 2020. Breaks the highs. This will go to 72. Still holding my last bit of calls long on the market. Scalping a calm. Come on. There we go. Come on. Selling some into this push here. Stops at entries on a calm. So watch the market pull back a little bit. It's going to want to retest this trend here. Boop. And we'll see if it holds up. If it does, then we get continuation. If it doesn't, well, you know where it's going to go. Bingo, that breaks. You go back to there. Guys, if you're new to chat, make sure you're clicking that Discord link to come into the text chat. That's where we're talking. We don't use the Zoom chat for text. We only use it for streaming. AMD long. Not until the market sets back up. Can I take a look at DEC? Sure. DECK. Ooh, really nice chart. Awesome. Oh my goodness, that's gorgeous. I like the daily. I like the intraday chart. I like it a lot. You got room to 131, Tony. So it's got more upside. Take a look at Apple as this event is starting in 23 minutes. So we hit the 215 spot we were looking for. If it does not reclaim that level, guys, on Apple, you're going to go back to 212.30. So that's a big area for Apple there. I like Billy here. Continue to hold your SPY calls. Patience on the last piece. You got resistance at 13.11. Gennardo, we just gotta wait. We just gotta wait to see how the, in my opinion, how the market's setting up. I need to see it retest this trend, and then we can make decisions. You guys can look at XPO, sure. Here, Jesse, try this one. I'm gonna send you another link. Try that. So XBO being down, extended, 87.22. Looks like you can get more of a bounce continuation towards that 87 mark, Gus, on that XBO. I would look for a pullback, Gus, to about 84.57 and then grab it long. Yeah, I think that's okay, Trader 2020. You're extended on it. That's CGNX now, if you do want to take it. Highs again, risk. Top Kelt 265.96. We're not really going off the top Kelt. The top Kelt is 265.89 that I have, Ed. We're going off of the top hourly channel on the SPY. That's what we went to and got rejected, literally to the penny. Now we're just going to see if it can hold up this area, which is the trend, and see what happens. Yeah, sounds like everyone's having issues with Thinkorswim today, which sucks, guys. I'm all you can do is literally call them and yell at them to get free trades. Yeah, for some reason, PSK Netflix is always the fang that lags hard. When everything was bouncing, it was pulling still. But there you go, 10 points. And now I'm just kind of just chilling here, guys, just for a sec. I want to see what the market does. So we are breaking the parabolic trend, which ain't good.
I think part of it might be if they sell the news on this Apple event.
Oh yeah, for sure. Still long TTWO. No, Tucker, you should be out of it. There's no reason to be long it. It's going to probably pull back. It got rejected at the resistance, never got above 123.45. No long. Had it long off the 50 EMA this morning, sold into it. That's it. Back to 118. Yep, I think so. 117.23 is actually what I see on it. SPY puts, crypto, not yet. If it breaks 265.23 crypto, then yes, we can start to look at it on the downside. Watch UAA. Raj, if you want to short this thing, it's starting to line up, boss. You got to get below that EMA support right here. Whoa. That 21.95 needs to break, otherwise no go. So 212.30 is being retested off the 215 rejection. Now, this is what we got to watch. If this area breaks on the mark, if this area breaks on Apple, we're going to start to sell off across the board, and we can grab puts on the SPY and QQQ or UVXY long. But let's see how it, we actually got to see it break the spot. We got to wait for confirmation. 212.30 is our mark. Spartan beta short. Look at the daily. Let's take a look. Beta. Looks like it's got room to 18 bucks rage, and then if that breaks, it's going to be off a cliff. Only thing you got to watch is that that downtrend channel it's trading within. SPY's holding up. Apple was holding up. Whoa. Again, guys, it's the 1230 spot on Apple, which is such a big key. And that level's holding for now. I'm still holding my app or my SPY calls. Maintain the hold. Okay, I don't think we're done yet. I think we're going to get a little leg up here. Watch the market. If it gets back above the 266.70 mark, we're going to probably break through that downtrend channel and continue higher. That means that you're going to see continuation across the board. Wait for it to occur. Name of the game is patience in this market, guys. Confirmation. Netflix into the 283 resistance. Unable to break that level, it will not push. Amazon as well getting rejected at the 1528 resistance level. I still think the SPY can push, so let's see what happens here. And speak of the devil. Take a look across the board at the FANG. Which one do I like the most for continuation? Watch, okay guys, if Netflix gets above 283, it's got room back to 288. So you got about 5 points, 6 points of room on that. Biggest key is just right here on the market. Once we see that break, we should push. Still looking for 72 on a calm, guys. Eyes selling off pretty hard. Let's take a look. 22 is where it has room to, Tony. 22. Negative piece out on NVDA. Diego just posted.
Funny, you know, this morning on that NVDA, they actually lowered the price. Even
Oh,
though,
did they? It was 269 to 259, right?
yeah, they lowered the price from their original, but maintained outperform or whatever.
Gotcha. I'm going to take the rest of this accom off. If it doesn't move in the next probably minute. Come on, let's go. $72, guys. Sell one half of that at calm. Don't short it, Vopper. CGNX, do not short it. We should get the next leg up on SPY and Apple and Netflix. Netflix has room to 288, guys. Watch UAA if you guys want to play something to the upside. This thing's flagging. UAA, it's cheap. Your stops would go around 21.70. They can go to 23 bucks, 22.80 target. Stops on a calm. Go 780. Don't let it pull back on you. If you guys do want to play that Tilray long, watch the flag break here on Tilray. Hey guys, Netflix, you want to be selling to this 288. There you go. Now, it has room to 292 as the next target on that Netflix. So watch for that continuation there. I'm all out of a calm, by the way, guys. Still holding that 1/8 size of the SPY calls left. I'm not adding into it until it actually breaks. Has not broken yet. Make sure you're moving your Netflix stops up to about 284. Don't give it that much room. You flip to the SPY quickly, just so we can get a good sense of what's going on. Flag setting up. Again, that's our resistance though, 266.70, guys, big spot. Do I think the SPY is going to go more? Yeah, we look bullish. There's no question. It's just this is a big resistance area we got to get through. I like the fact that it held up even off the pullback. We are creating a flag. Bullish in my opinion. And as well, if you look at Apple, Apple's making a flag again to try and push through that 215 spot. So Apple should retest 215 here. Viv, let's take a look, Michael, quickly. Yeah, looks good. Looks good. Oops. Come on, Netflix, 292. Nice job, H Trader. And PSK, good stuff there. All right, sell some on Netflix. If your stops on Netflix go up to 286 and you're selling more, watch that UAA, guys. You're getting the flag. Again, 2280 is where we want to see this thing go to. And then that breaks $23. Watch Apple, guys. It should push. And your Tilray should push as well. Tilray has room to $98. Well, sorry, $96.73 exactly.
I'm at 192.32.
Well, the VWAP's $1 away.